you know what time of month it is. It's time for another Marvel Legends Fast Forward. They had a fan stream this morning. They showed new toys. Why wouldn't I get in front of the camera and go, hey, look, there's this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Now, you know the deal. It may not be as fast forward implies, especially in some parts, but there's going to be other parts that I may fly on through, and I'm going to change up the order of the reveals a little bit. In fact, I'm going to split it right in half, do the back end first, then come back around to the first of the fan stream. That's only due to my own levels of excitement because, you know me, I have my bread and butters, I have my steak and potatoes, I have my biscuits and gravy, and when it comes to Strange Tales, it's not really high on my list. So when I saw the rumors of this over the weekend, I thought, well, okay, that's probably not going to be for me. And for the most part, it's not. So let's start there, and then I can end on a high note, at least for my own personal wants and needs, and this is my show. First up was Brother Voodoo, and I thought, well, that's already on my shelf, but the more I looked, the more I thought, okay, this is a nice upgrade. And again, the theme of the wave is Strange Tales, so it fits. But now that I've had a chance to sit and stare and look and go back to the old one and look and compare, yeah, I'm in for this one. Yeah, the body's leaner, the cape is better, but for me, it's the face, it's the head. The paint-like look to the skull, the white, how it fades. I love that kind of thing. And yes, I know I just said paint-like when it actually is paint, but you know what I mean, where it looks a bit realistic. Next up was Dracula, and I've seen this on a lot of people's wish lists. Me, I'm not too attached to this version, but now that I see it in plastic form, I do like the red armor. Way more than I thought I would. Yeah, part of the costume is paint, but there's a lot of overlay going on. And as I always say, when it comes to open mouths, they're not my favorite unless it's part of the character. And when there's fangs to bear, then yeah, give me an open mouth. Two Draculas coming. There's Monster Force and now there's Marvel Legends. It's a good time to be a Dracula fan. Next up was whatever this is. I guess I've completely missed the Spirit of Vengeance Wolverine or Helverine or whatever they're calling this. To me, it's almost a battle-damaged Wolverine, like somebody squirted lighter fluid on his head and claws and just I took out Logan. You're gonna have to do better than that, bub. I do like the skull showing through. The silverness to that, the adamantium showing. So, yes, it's neat in a, oh, that's a nice looking action figure kind of way, but I don't feel the need to actually put it into my display. Speaking for me, personally. That's all I can do. I am aware of Bloodstorm, but I don't think I've ever read a mainline comic with her in it. It's always been What If I remember right. And speaking of that, that's what this wave feels like. Reading the original run of What If. You know, there were some issues where you're like, wow, that is amazing. That just one little tiny change brought on all this. And then there's issues where it's kind of like, okay, that was okay. Now, I don't feel bad for reading it, but I probably won't ever come back to that issue. There's more issues on the way. Damien Hellstrom. Whoever thought we would see him in a main Marvel Legends wave? We always assumed he would have to be direct or, you know, hidey hold. It's like, oh no, we gotta keep him out of the sight of the general public, or they're gonna grop about that symbol. Hell, I wear a Slayer Darth Vader mashup shirt every now and then, and it's not even a proper pentagram. It doesn't have the correct number of sides, and I still get comments from people going, oh, you're going to hell. This, in a standard Marvel Legends wave, that is not general release. We'll get to that. For me, this character has some handbook cred, and I think he showed up in West Coast Avengers, which makes an appearance again here in a minute, and West Coast Avengers is near and dear. So, way more near and dear than general occult characters or random vampire takes on characters. Because then we get to Lilith, and I know I've seen her in pictures. I've probably read a comic or two with her in it, but she was nowhere on my want list, nowhere on my wish list. Interesting look makes for an interesting action figure with the fishnets and the silvers and the greens and the purples, but other than that, I'm way more in for Moon Knight because he fits into that West Coast Avengers team. I'm not sure if I like the lanky body. I'd like to see him a bit more bulked up, but I dig the gold. And I like that they painted the inside of the cape black. That makes the costume stand out. It doesn't look like just a bright white on your shelf. Is that Moon Knight? What's going on there? But again, putting him with the West Coast Avengers makes me want Phantom Rider and more characters from that run. And then the Build-A-Figure's Blackheart, another character that I'm not really attached to. I had the original Toy Biz. I liked it well enough, but I do like that this is a new body, that he's big, that he looks cool, but I don't feel the need to get the whole wave. I'm cherry picking this one. But then swinging back around to the marketing aspect of this, they almost predicted that the fan community would be split here. It's not X-Men. It's not Avengers, it's not MCU, it's Strange Tales. So some of the characters may be under a lot of people's radars. So this is Amazon and fan channel only. This won't be at stores, it won't be at brick and mortar, it won't be on pegs. Which may be another reason for the inclusion of Damien Hellstrom, because of that. Bam! My children should not be exposed to that kind of... This is online only. It's not taking the place of a retail line. This is just another way to get people who are fans of other avenues within the Marvel universe some figures for their shelves. And if you don't like it, there's more waves on the way. So many waves on the way. Because swinging back to the first of the fan stream, they announced a lot of things that are upcoming, that don't quite have a pre-order date yet, but hey, there's more stuff on the way. Like I just said, they started by recapping some of the recent reveals, like Man-Thing or Ted, a big old man-thing for your grubby little hands. They made sure to point out all the new parts, like the head, and the shoulders, and the forearms, and the lower legs, the crotch cover, the upper torso overlay. Yes, there is a lot of new here, even though it looks very similar to the old Man-Thing Build-A-Figure. And that's okay, because they're Man-Things. They're supposed to look similar. That's how good the Disney Plus version was. They made it look like the comic book. There's nothing wrong with that. That means if you missed the original Man-Thing, you can grab this, put it on your comic shelf too. More the merrier. There's also the Cabal set, which we've talked about at length on this channel. Just big bads in plastic form. Some updates, some new. It's there if you want it. But to finish off the 85th anniversary is Odin. And I say it like that because I was saying Odin, which sounds completely correct in my brain, but I thought I'd throw it out. It's Odin. Odin? Doesn't even sound right either way now. Odin. Either way, it's a big honkin' piece of plastic. Yeah, I'm in honkin', but then there's hulking and hunkin'. He's a hunk, look at it. It's amazing looking. I didn't even know I needed an Odin on my shelf. I knew the rumors were out there and I thought, well, Asgardians aren't super hot. But then you see it, the golds, the swappable parts, the blues. I'm looking at the pictures right now because, oh, just chunky and armored and bearded. And to swap out all those pieces, you end up with a bald Odin. Can I have that without the peg holes in it? Because that looks pretty sweet too. Also has a spear, has the ravens, everything you could possibly ask for with an Odin. That's a mainline release, will be pre-orderable in most places. Then there's an updated Venom Let There Be Carnage Venom. Because we just got Carnage, we gotta get Venom back out there. The paint apps have been updated to look more like the movie, and then they've added the tendrils on the back with little Venom faces on them. My initial reaction was, got the old one, don't need this. And I'm not getting Carnage, so I don't need a new one to go with that. But the more I looked, those tendrils are awesome. I really do like those. I probably won't get it because I have the old one, but then I look at the veining and the paint apps on it. No, budget. Plus it's Target exclusive anyway, so I have a 50-50 chance of ever seeing it in person anyway. The next reveal was right up my alley though. Not because it's Walmart and I live right in the heart of that industrial complex, but look at this! It is Charles Xavier in his Warlord costume from the cover of X-Men 275. We've already gotten the rest, or well, the rest of the main team right there. There's some background characters I would still like in plastic form. Don't say it's finished, because it's not yet. Yes, they chose the colors of this costume, this uniform, from the inside, the interior art, which is, it'll work. But Dwight did hint at doing variants of this down the road. And my brain just realized multi-packs. It's gotta be a multi-pack, right? The sculpt is here. What else is that gonna be used for? Throw in some other X-Men, or, you know, Deathbird, or Imperial Guard, or some other characters from those issues, and then put them in the purple. Bang, done. I'm also gonna guess that this is working up to an X-Men 97 variant or reuse of some kind, because we saw him in something very, 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 very similar. And I'm gonna say the exact same thing about this first appearance type Rogue and Destiny 2-pack. Now, I'm one of those guys that wanted this look for Rogue. I want all the looks for Rogue. Back in her early villain days, and they gave her a face to match that with the short hair and everything, but look at the costume. Look at it closely. It does match up to Rogue's costume from the end of X-Men 97, because that costume was a callback to this costume. So giving us this in a 2-pack, getting that mold ready, then yeah, you see what they're building up to. But I'm also the guy that wanted Destiny, because she's an essential part of your balanced X-Men display. Sure, she's just a precog. She called the shots out on the battlefield without getting her own hands dirty most of the time, but she was needed. And look at the blue with the gold mask. That's just striking. That's gonna be a good looking figure on a shelf somewhere. Jean Grey in her Phoenix costume, one much needed character, because how long ago was that other Jean? It was. Then we got the alternate heads in the Dark Phoenix 2-pack with Cyclops at Toys R Us. That's how long it's been, is Toys R Us era. But this is updated articulation, updated paint apps, photoreal to the face, very natural feeling. I'd like her hair to be a bit more neutral, but I get it. It's Phoenix. Same goes for the alternate. I'm about to Dark Phoenix all over your ass head. Ass head. The yellowed out eyes, the pissed off look, the hair flowing back. Man, well, they were teasing a retro carded release and going, oh no, Brolin, I would have taken that. But to add, oh, well, okay, let's do this as it happened. Then they showed the swirly twirly fire base and started talking about that in length, and I thought, that's neat, but Phoenix, I've been looking forever online for 3D print that somebody could do in translucent red resin or something that I could buy, you know? And I haven't found one yet. Please, Hasbro, give me something. Throw me a bone. It needs more. I'm not disappointed, but Oh, all I had to do was wait a few seconds. There it is. In my head, a lot of the times back in the classic days, the Phoenix would just be the Firebird behind and then, you know, the head to the side. But I like that there's articulation in the neck to change it into an actual effect. Like if you're wanting the wings would be cool if it could wrap around. But still, it's a big old plastic Phoenix that I've been needing for a long, long time. It's not the Phoenix I was hoping for, though. I will totally buy this because it's Jean, it's Phoenix, it's a nice Phoenix effect. But I hope this is a precursor to the Rachel Summers Excalibur Phoenix. Can we get her in her Hound costume with the spikes, alternate head on fire, and then this Phoenix effect? Will that happen? Can that happen? Please make that happen. That's when they went into the Strange Tales wave. That's where we skipped to the end for this teaser of an upcoming figure. My first thought for this was Cable. Oh, X-Men 97 theme. They've hinted, or not hinted, they didn't hint. They gotta be working on the next X-Men 97 wave with Rogue and who was the other one we were just talking about? Oh, Xavier in the Warlord costume. So maybe this is Cable. But I flipped through some pictures and the gun doesn't really match that design. Y'all are way faster though. I did not find this picture. I saw it floating around the internet and it seems to match the gun that comic book Kang is holding here. We just got a kick-ass Kang though. So is this gonna be a re-release with some added weapons? Or maybe they can do an Immortus or a Rama Tut or something and the gun can come with that to go back to the Kang we already got, or another box set. Who knows? I don't know. I just know it seems to look like this. From there, I'll wait and see. And that was the fan stream. Like I said, fast in some places, not so fast in others, but that's how I roll. That was my own personal opinions and thoughts on what I saw today. I put it in video form, I throw it out on the internet, you watch it if you want. If not, I'm sure there's a lot of other videos out there with a lot of other people's opinions. And you're gonna have your own opinions. Form your own. I know I was throwing out, Phoenix, not so much, but don't let that sway you or anything. Just collect how you want to, and everything will be fine. I think my favorite, well, I don't know, is between Warlord Professor X and Phoenix. Oh, and Rogue. And Destiny. The X-related characters. Surprise! Either way. Bye. I'll see ya next time. Same X channel, same X time. That makes it sound weird, doesn't it?